Does anyone still believe in paradise?
From event planning to becoming a coveted business coach, Latasha Brooks is quite impressive. She's a designer, she's an author, she's a motivational speaker, and she's even added executive producing to her resume. It doesn't look like she's slowing down anytime soon. Latasha, thank you so much for joining us in the Jenleeion Circle. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, actually, it's exciting because you know, like I said, that introduction covered a few of the titles that you wear. But my goodness, how do you wear all those titles at the same time? What's the first claim to fame?
I'm a woman. We are super women.
That was a perfect answer.
It's the truth.
I like that. So your first claim to fame is being a superwoman.
That's right.
I got you. So I should be talking about the second piece of it.
I wear a cape. I have a special cape on it. So.
Absolutely. So, you know, just starting back at the beginning, obviously, I think your first experience was getting into event planning, I think, because of your family.
Yes.
Talk to me about that. And then conversely, I'd like to know how event planning prepared you for a life of business entrepreneurship.
Awesome. So I did. I got forced in by my older sisters, which wasn't a bad thing, actually. I was in the 6th grade. I was getting ready to audition for the largest performing arts studio in Jacksonville, Florida. And my sister needed me. Me and my best friend, actually. She said, hey, I need you for this event. It is this day. Can you help us? And I'm like, that's the same day as my live audition. And at first as a kid, I'm like, oh, well.
What's chance do I take? Right.
But then I'm like, but she expressed how much they really, really, really need me. And so I talked my best friend into us both not auditioning for the live performance and helping my sister out. And to be honest with you, that was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Oh, wow.
Yep, so event planning started in the 6th grade. And then at 18 years old, I landed my first corporate job. It was due to the skills, me being able to interview my organization, me being able to have a conversation with corporate American people, and that started the corporate life. That eventually led over to the business life, taking on corporate America and entrepreneurship as a young, skilled person, birthed my business life.
So your business life, in that business life, I guess the birth first led to a event planning business, or what was your specific lane?
So I did the organizing, planning the events, gathering her crew together from beginning to end, telling them where to go, what to do, choreographing routines for them.
That's official event planning.
Oh yeah, official, yes.
And then they don't play in the corporate space.
They
That's
do
where
not.
They definitely will throw dollars at the right way.
They whip you into shape.
Yes, absolutely. And so you did that for how long? Because I'm really curious. Like I said, here at Jenleeion, we really love the tragedy, the triumph, and even if it's not tragedy, the road to how people get to where they are, right?
Yeah.
You're a coveted business coach, right?
Yes.
You're referred to as
Coach Brooks.
As Coach Brooks, right? How did you get to Coach Brooks? How long in corporate space did you have to play before you said, you know what, let me pass this knowledge on to others?
So, even in corporate America, I focused on training, organizing, and still kind of doing those key things. It was when it circled back to my sister that owned multiple companies needed me to coach her. She knew the skills that I had. She knew what I was capable of doing. And so she's like, we don't want anybody else. We want you. And she was my very first client. And then from there, I grew more and more clients. And it was more of a backhand thing, a side hustle, but it eventually birthed into a business. And so I took on more and more clients. And I stayed in corporate America for quite some time, up until 3 years ago. And so I did about 15 years in corporate America. And so I'm constantly mimicking the things that I learned in corporate America with entrepreneurship. And that's what allowed me to scale to a larger level.
Latasha's experience in event planning that took her to corporate America also got her the opportunity to be able to event plan for New York Fashion Week.
Yes.
Take us there.
That was a nice experience. My business partner was already in the fashion industry. And so although I've always loved fashion, partnering with her 7 years ago is what birthed the fashion part of it. And so she took me to New York Fashion Week, which was really fun. And the first year we went, we were event planning for another producer. And although we had our own production, New York Fashion Week was on a whole nother level.
Yeah, absolutely.
And different, the way they do things.
We call it fun chaos.
Oh, yes. It was definitely chaos.
Yeah. But fun chaos nonetheless.
Yes, absolutely fun. And so my business partner knew the event planning skills that I had, and I knew the connections in New York that she had. And so we put those two together, and we produced other people's shows on the back end. Event planning, casting the models, casting the cast, hair, makeup, stylists, designers. We did all of that for the producers. And so that was a fun experience, but very cool.
Yeah, and in that chaos, obviously, the title designer is something.
Yes, so designer actually passed down to my 13-year-old daughter. She's actually the designer. I'm currently in fashion school right now. I've been in fashion school for about 2 years now. And my daughter, she took on that designing piece of it and birthed her entire studio. So she has her own studio at the house. And as a mother, you can't allow them to tap into something that you don't have any background skills or history in.
Because that's what a good mama bear does.
That's
so
right.
To be able to know whether they're being taken advantage of, or whether stuff makes sense.
That's right.
And so I think that's incredible. So the business coach piece of you, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, you launched a mentorship program.
Yes.
Tell me about that mentorship program.
So my mentorship program is called Money Bags Mentor Program. I was actually given the title Money Bags in New York. I met another fashion producer, and we had been talking and working together. And then he met me in person, and the first thing he saw when he seen me was, I'm gonna call you Money Bags. He said, everything about you is well put together. And I stuck with it. And so the Money
I like
Bags
it. Never mind that he borrowed it from hip hop music. But we like it.
Actually, I'm gonna tell you what he got it from. My previous name was Bags, Baggs, and
your previous last name?
Yeah, my previous last name.
So your surname was Bags. Okay, so actually you have a personal call outside of the hip hop, of the hip hop music clip.
It was my name before it was his. Okay.
Touche. Right, so Money Bags, right?
And so he said, I look like money, I talk like money, I sound like money, and that's why he put those two together. So he birthed that. But so I took that Money Bags, and everybody started calling me Money Bags. And so I birthed the mentoring program. And the mentoring program is designed to help small business owners, entrepreneurs, all over the world. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in, because I specialize in business development. So I can take any business and develop it and grow it. That's what corporate America taught me. Yeah. And so I teach small business owners how to not only mimic corporate America to the scale of small business, but to do it the right way. I have this thing of making it a habit to do things right the first time, and so we don't have to go back and clean up stuff. So I take that mentoring very serious, because it's something that I give to others that I didn't have for myself.
Yeah, and it's a questionable phraseology to use to say post-pandemic, and obviously we're getting to a point where it's probably going to be endemic. It's going to be with us. There's no expiration date in sight.
That's correct.
But I asked this question because I'm curious in how both the business and the mentorship landscape has been in COVID, post-pandemic.
Phenomenal, to be honest with you.
I keep hearing that from industry to
yes.
industry. Yeah.
I'll tell you why. Because a lot of people didn't realize their strengths. A lot of people didn't realize the situations that they were in until we got forced to make some choices. And corporate America either did one or two things for you during the pandemic. It helped you, it kept you employed, it kept you safe, or it destroyed you.
Yeah,
the people that were destroyed, they needed to know that they had other options. And entrepreneur brings so many great things, although it has its ups and downs, it's a roller coaster, but it brings so many other great things to your life, like no cap when it comes to pay. You are unlimited with the amount of money that you can make. Being able to create your own schedule, being able to spend time with your family, being able to do something that you actually like.
Not be a slave to the rhythm.
And not be a slave to other people. We get trapped in entrepreneurship. We get trapped in corporate America, and we feel like that's our only route. And it's not our only route. And when you have enough, when that pandemic came, it showed some people that maybe this is not, the end all for you when it comes to your career. And so people took a risk.
I think with that, the people who are awake, you're right. I think if a step further, that it definitely opened their eyes to what is more meaningful.
Yeah,
right?
what's more important in life.
How far do I want to reach, and and if the world does go to hell again, what do I want to have experienced prior to? That's one of the things that it did for me.
Right.
When I reached Jenleeion, to go legacy where it has.
Yes.
So outside of that, now we're adding executive producership to the list for TV.
Yes.
Your segue into television.
Yes. I've always been told all my life. So one of the cool things about me is I have a great personality. Everybody.
I don't think so. I think you're dreadful. I'm kidding. You're delightful. She's like, look, I don't care what you're saying. At least I know it. Didn't I call myself a superwoman?
Right. I got a cape on my back. Okay.
Yeah, I love that. Go ahead.
So my personality has always been everything. I'm always the life of the party. I don't drink. I don't party. I don't smoke. I don't do any of that things. But you can always laugh.
You sound like a female version of me.
See, good. Yeah. See, you can always laugh with me. And so all my life I've been told you were meant for television. But I never saw that coming. Never thought about television at all. And then I met some executive producers who fell in love with me, and they were like, "You are meant for television." And this time, I didn't take it like that. And so we started birthing the show. And it's a real life, my real life. I have a lot of hats that I wear, as you stated in the beginning. And there's good and bad that comes with that. There's roller coasters. And so I think people need to talk about it more. I think people need to see a real life version of a successful entrepreneur, businesswoman who is helping other people.
He's relentless. He's relentless. But exudes humility to the degree that she wants to help other people.
Yes.
I think that's fantastic.
Yes. And also dealing with, motherhood. I just had a baby 4 weeks ago. And so, I just had a baby. And, that's a whole other hat. Just had a baby 6 weeks ago. And so, people don't realize that, 2 weeks after having a baby, I was back business. I was back working. And I've always told myself in corporate America that when I work for myself full time, when I have a baby, I'm taking a year off.
Yeah.
And we always say the things that we were doing, we were in charge. And now I'm in charge, and it's been the opposite of everything that I thought, that I was going to do. So 2 weeks after having a baby, after being cut open, I was back working. And it's crazy the amount of strength, women endure.
When there's stuff to do,
and there's stuff that has to get done, and people don't understand unless you are a CEO.
Well, let me tell you, I'm a single father, so I take my hat off to single women, or just women, period.
Yes.
Like, you're not women, but still motherhood.
Yes, I'm married.
Yeah, you're married, but parenthood, period.
Yes.
I have 4 boys, the 3 that are at home.
Wow.
So I say that to say, when you're wearing so many business hats, and you still have to make sure that you're a substantive parent.
Yep.
Kudos goes out to you, because I'm pretty sure your daughter doesn't want for anything in terms of what she needs from a mother's nourishment.
Yep. So I have a son now and 2 daughters, and my daughters love this life. They're both entrepreneurs as well. And then my son, he's born into wealth, and and he has his own company now as well too. 6 weeks old, so they don't want for anything.
So that's really exciting that you're headed to television. I'm pretty sure you can give us the details about the network and the release date at this point. But can we at least get information? Will you be hitting the TV screen at least in 2022?
I will. I will definitely be on the TV screen in 2022. I'm so excited for you guys to see this project.
Well, we look forward to that. Where can people follow you, Latasha?
So people can follow me on every social media platform. Moneybags with 2 G's 623, and that's across all platforms.
Fantastic. Well, you also should see her cover for our women's editions in Jenleeion magazine. I'm so excited you guys joined us for the Jenleeion Circle. Looking forward to see you guys next time. Say bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Does anyone still believe in paradise?